where the first prize in that is a 2009 Bowman Draft wax box, possible Mike Trout rookie card. Some of those Trout rookies sell for over 100 grand. It's pretty wild out there. All right, we're going to roll the dice. Oh, I like that. I like that. We started doing polls during our YouTube show as well. I like it. All right, 6. What are you looking for?
Sorry, I have to re-roll.
Excuse me?
I have to re-roll.
Re-roll the dice?
Sorry, redo the random.
Okay, sure.
Hold on.
Okay. Johnny 5 is just taking care of the list right here. Donald watches Gilligan's Island every Sunday. I would say I still watch Seinfeld at least once a week. Like I'll put it on in the background, you know, and especially depending on the episode, like that. That's great. What's one of your favorite episodes of Seinfeld? Do you remember off the top of your head? Oh. When he holds the golf ball. And I put my hand in there. I don't know how he does it, Lou, but it's great. Yeah. Oh, my God. That was a really good episode. I like that. Yeah, I know. I like that. And then I like the, I think it's the Andrea Doria episode where basically I think George is getting a new apartment and the old man who's supposed to get the apartment was on the ship that sank, but George is pissed off because the ship took like 11 hours to sink. So he decides to tell like the apartment board his story of like woe and, you know, how he killed his girlfriend with the toxic envelopes, how he's like a loser, you know, all this stuff. And it turns out in the end that, like, you know, the guy, I think, who, if I'm remembering correctly, that told Elaine she had a big head, got the apartment because she bribed them with $50. I think I would do pretty well at a Seinfeld trivia contest. They have them in the city like once a week. Well, to be fair, right? So it's like video games. You think you're good at it. There's people that play 11 hours a day. So I think I'm good at it. But yes, there's probably people that are watching, you know, 8 episodes a day. Oh, the Paul O'Neill one is great. Because if I'm not mistaken, the second home run was an inside the Parker, and the kid tries to disqualify it.
Yep.
Yeah, it was great. I just saw that one not too long ago. For whatever it's worth, even though we don't have 100 on the PSA show, we are approaching 100 between both platforms. We have about 62 or so on the PSA platform, and about, actually, I don't even know if that's accurate on YouTube.
No, that's not.
Oh, so it could be more? Mm-hmm. So we actually might be over 100 between both platforms, but if we get 100 on the PSA platform, yeah. Come on over. Yeah. So while everything's good to go? Mm-hmm. Okay. While J5 is finalizing the list here and the break, do you need me to... I want to show off this card.
Yeah, sure. Hold on,
do you remember the story behind this card?
Yep.
Great. If you could let us know.
I'm
not sure if you're going to go to your grave with that, but that was interesting. Apparently I have to be more specific, Lou. I can't just ask John if he knows about something. I have to actually ask him to say what he knows. I didn't realize that. So, John, we're going to go again. So, John, do you know anything about this Ted Williams card I'm showing you?
Yeah, so a gentleman came to us about a year back, and he
Check this out.
An evaluation along with 2 other cards. And basically, we gave him an evaluation. He said he will think about it. A year later, he came back to us and said, okay, I'm ready to sell. And can we get a new evaluation? So nothing really much changed. It was actually same numbers, and he was happy.
So, Lou, Lou and the rest of the gang, what I'm holding here is not just a very valuable card, not just a really cool autograph, but to me, it's a piece of American history. Because when you're talking about Ted Williams, one of the greatest hitters that ever lived, and you're talking about how now, Lou, maybe not then, but how now people are really into collecting signed rookie cards. To have a Ted Williams signed rookie card, he only has 1 rookie. It's signed, and it got graded with an autograph grade of 9. The card itself is only a 2, but that's okay. It's got decent eye appeal. But check that out, Lou. I mean, that's really rare, meaning people were not getting Ted Williams rookies signed generally when he was alive because the card itself was already worth a lot of money. And excuse me, a lot of people thought you were actually defacing it and hurting the value of it by getting it signed. So it is very, very rare. To give you some perspective, I think the last one sold at auction for about $19,000. Oh, most certainly, Lou. You're 100% right about that. Yeah, so to be clear, there's probably almost no cards from the 30s, 40s, or 50s that were signed by Ted Williams back then. This is clearly signed in the 80s or 90s. Sure. Sure. Well, you know, the thing is that I look at the moon, I look at the stars, and depending on the day of the week, it's like with George. He had that trip the one time, and they're like, why do you bring all these clothes? He goes, I don't know if I'm going to feel like morning mist or something else. I wish I could nail the second one. I couldn't get it. See, Seinfeld trivia guys would crush me. The reality of it is, Lou, that, you know, all kidding aside, we try to offer products not only at a reasonable price, but you can also get a hit or hits in reasonable fashion. So in other words, if we're going to be doing where there's only one card in the set, we try to really, you know, limit those. For example, in 79 hockey, even though there's other hits, Gretzky really by far and away is the big hit. So if you notice, I try not to have a ton of those kinds of products on the site because feast or famine is not necessarily good for entertainment and good for like a fair proposition value. Exactly, and not only a little bit lower, but also we try not to actually carry those in general. So if you look right now, we probably have 160 or 170 different items on VintageBreaks.com. And some folks have asked, hey, why don't you have this item? Why don't you have that item? And so one, we're growing, you know, ever so slowly the amount of different products that we're offering. But two, just because a product is available in the secondary marketplace for us to buy and then quote unquote mark up and offer, it doesn't mean that we're going to, because if I don't think that it's the right proposition for someone or for the masses to buy, then I'd rather just not offer it to people. Correct. Yes. You know, so we definitely try to achieve certain margins so we can continue our business, right? Employees aren't free. Insurance isn't free. Advertising's not free. Giving away stuff on the PSA show, even though we're giving it to you for free, isn't free. And so we try to build in a reasonable margin, but also one that we can continue hopefully breaking for the years to come. Meaning, you know, like I guess you could try to have higher prices, Lou, but then you might have less customers. So we'd rather have more customers, make a fair margin, and be able to break packs for a long time to come. Hopefully that answered that, you know, well. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, we're real proud that Johnny 5 got this in. So for those of you that are not familiar with our process of Just Collect, this card came to us raw. So it was not authenticated, it was not graded, and because we're not autograph experts, we consider ourselves to be vintage card experts, but not vintage autograph experts. And so what we did, gang, is the way we buy autographs, if we're interested, and we generally are only interested in higher end autographs, we tell folks what our offer is going to be, Lou, based on the autograph being authenticated by PSA. Oh, by the way, we pay that fee, whether it turns out to be real or not. And so you can imagine we only do it on more expensive items because we can't pay a fee on a $300 baseball. You know, there's not enough profit, if you will, right? But if you have a more expensive item, at least if it turns out to be real, it was worth everyone's time. So that's what we did. We got this authenticated by PSA. We had our fingers crossed. We brought it out to the National, and we had it looked at for both not just authentication, but also for the autograph grade itself. And that's where it got graded at the National, an autograph grade of 9. It was really cool. So it's not for sale yet, but it will be in the near future. Sure. That is kind of funny. I watched the Archie, like I think there was a cartoon when I was a young kid, Saturday mornings, but I watched a lot of cartoons when I was a kid, so I can't really say, you know, which one it was. All right, 1988 Fleer Basketball, here we come. First break of today. First card coming out, will be right there, going out to Corey. Last card going out to Bill. Good luck, everybody. Russo's hysterical. J5 gets paid in hair products. Oh, dear. What's up, Russo? Hope all's well, bud. Hey, Mark, how are you? Mark helped us sell out our unopened hit random last night, which, once again, we're going to be doing tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. It's going to be epic, 100 spots. It was $200 a spot, and there's some really great prizes possible in that. Sleepy Floyd, spot 2. I don't think so. Which you kind of think, right? Sleepy, pretty common name, nickname. You think there'd be someone, but nope. Sleepy Floyd. I mean, Doug, you could probably Google it, but nothing that I can think of on a national level. John Sally. John Sally had a nickname, right?
Spider.
There we go. The Spider. Reggie Theus. He was on, I wish he had the back of his jersey. He had a Sacramento jersey where I think the number was above the name. It was kind of funky. I think it was like 86 or so. Ooh, there we go. No, like just on the team's uniform. Yeah, it was like a style. That'd be kind of funny if he just did it on his. I think it's possible, right? Clyde Drexler, Hall of Famer. A little bit off center. No. No, I don't. I mean, I'm not like vehemently against it. They're clearly doing it just for marketing and, you know, for monetary reasons, because they can start to sell those respective jerseys now that, you know, they're styled and worn by the players. But I don't know, as someone who has a 4.5-year-old who, by the way, I'm like so happy. I took Crosby to his first professional baseball game on Sunday, and we've played baseball this week no less than a few times outside, and he seems to be, you know, genuinely excited about the sport. I'm real happy about it. Mo Cheeks, recent Hall of Famer. Hot Rod Williams. There had to be a Hot Rod somewhere. Those Cavs teams were good. If it wasn't for Jordan, they would have kept going to the finals. Patrick Ewing. Doing a heck of a job at Georgetown as a coach. Oh, this is great. So Mike just said Sleepy Floyd was his nickname because he showed up to class late in college. He slept in. Eric Floyd. Very cool. Johnny Paxson. He's got a few championships with the Bulls. There was definitely no other oil can. Most certainly not. We almost hit. We were about 68 or 70 live on the PSA show, so that's pretty cool. We're well over 100 combined, Lou. That's as you said. That's pretty cool. Hey, listen, I don't take anything for granted in life, you know. Please do. That'd be great. News and notes here on card shows. So we're going to be set up as Just Collected Vintage Breaks at the upcoming September Valley Forge show at the Valley Forge Casino. If you want to drop in the chat, Sam, it's phillyshow.org. I'm not sure of the date, but it's sometime in September. There we go. 1988 Fleer basketball wax pack is down. If you want to